Hi, my name is Leah, and this is just a short, about 20-minute yoga class or yoga break for you. The intention is for people that are working at home, sitting at a desk, and just having a break for your body. And it's a little preview into similar to what I would teach for a yin yoga class. If you've never taken yin, it's often called either the other side of exercise or the more rejuvenating, restorative side of yoga. So it's a mix of hatha yoga, mindfulness, and the philosophies of Chinese medicine. So if you want to learn more about that, you might want to come to a longer class, but this will just be a little preview to help open up your hips and find a little grounding in the midst of your busy day. So I would encourage you to shut off any noises of notifications and anything that might be distracting, even though it can feel a little scary or challenging to detach from the world. I would encourage that for the next 20 minutes or so. And we're gonna start out, just as I sort of introduce the theme, I can show you something we can do for our wrists and arms, since we're doing lots of tension and stress on our wrists now that we're in the computer world. So if you're sitting in any way that feels comfortable, you can lean forward and put the backs of your hands on the ground. And then you just sort of lean your hips back and you open up the back of your lower arms there. And then you can switch and flip your wrists out towards away from you, and then also bend backwards, and just sort of to begin to turn inward towards what's happening in your body. And you can just do that, beginning to notice your breath. And so this class today is going to be focused on our hips and a little bit on our shoulders, since there's lots of tension and compression happening there with sitting and working. And in terms of how it relates to Chinese medicine, we're going to be focusing on the stomach and spleen meridian, which can get kind of congested with the stress of our lives and also just sitting, and as we put all different sorts of foods and emotions through our system to digest. So we can move away from working on our wrists, and everyone can go ahead and lie down on their back. And we're just gonna open here in a Shavasana on the back. And so taking your time, so with each transition in yin, just try to move a little bit slower than you normally would, trying to keep your body in this repair response, learning to slow down. So you can have your knees bent if that feels good, and your feet on the ground, or you can extend your legs long. And wherever you are, try to extend your arms out in a place that feels expansive for your chest, but also relaxed. Soften through your hands and palms and your wrists. Allow your head to feel heavy and your neck to relax. And feel your hips settle. Feeling into the front of your hips, the hip flexors, if they bit of, and wherever your legs are, allowing your inner thighs and the back of your thighs to relax. And bringing a few breaths into your knee joints. And moving the attention down into your ankles and your feet. So in this busy culture and busy work, we're often celebrated for these productive and productive mind and lots of busyness in our thoughts. And so in the next 20 minutes, we're just going to try to bring that attention down to our bodies. And something I do when I'm feeling de-stressed or just try to feel my feet or feel whatever lower part of my body is touching the ground. So we're just going to take the first few minutes of class here to ground And feeling the textures beneath your body, feeling the ground come up to meet and really support your whole body. And feeling into your toes, maybe relaxing the little spaces between your toes. Relaxing the arches of your feet. And then come to your breath. Just noticing the quality of your breath here. Often we're moving throughout our lives, relying so much on what our brain decides and telling our body what to do from the thoughts and decisions of our brain. And I really encourage you to, throughout this class, practice and develop this art of listening. So listening to what's happening with your breath without trying to change it. Listening to what sensations or discomforts happening in your body. And just bringing a sort of softness and curiosity there. Just allowing the body to come back into balance and shift as it wants to, rather than clenching and using the mind to have a reaction. So as your shoulders settle down and your neck's relaxed, we're going to take a few cleansing breaths together. So when you're ready for a nice big inhale, go ahead and expand. Find your biggest inhale of the whole day. And then open your mouth, make a sound, exhale. We'll do 2 more like that. So nice, big, expansive inhale. And exhale, relax your jaw. And last time, inhaling, allowing your ribs and belly to expand. And exhale when you're ready. Go ahead and roll out your wrists and your ankles. Let's find a full body stretch. So if your knees are bent, go ahead and reach your feet long and reach your hands over your head and find a full body stretch. Opening and expanding through your spine. Stretching for probably the biggest time you've had all day. And release down. And go ahead and roll to one side. Just lay on your side for a moment. Then you're going to come up into a seated position. And I'm going to show some props that we're going to use today. And I forgot to say in the beginning of class, but this would be a great time to pause the video and go get some of your own creative props. So we're going to use some blocks. You could also use books. So you could grab about like 5 cookbooks or 4 or 5 bigger books, a couple blankets, and maybe a couple pillows. So 2 to 3 pillows, 2 blankets, maybe 5 books, or blocks, blankets, and bolster. So the first thing that we're gonna do is targeting our neck muscles and shoulders. So either grab your stack of books or a block and come up to the second setting. So this is the lowest setting, this is medium, and this is high. So medium setting, and you're gonna come actually down to lay back down on your back. And this edge of the block that's closest to you is going to come up right to where your skull meets your neck. And taking the time to feel what feels right in your body, but it's basically like a firm pillow, and that edge of the block is going to become a little massager. So go ahead and you can keep your knees bent or long, whatever feels good. You're just going to rock your head side to side, opening up the back little muscles of your neck. And coming back into the observation of your breath. Trying to relax your jaw, relax your shoulder blades down towards the earth. We'll just be here for about 4 breath. So just enjoying. You can rock your head side to side, or you can find a little firm or sticky place and pause there. Or you can even just pause in the center and kind of open up the back neck muscles, finding a little stretch. So whatever feels good, movement or stillness. And just releasing any tension and heaviness of your head into the block, into your books. And allow your low back to settle and your hips to be heavy. And let's take one cleansing breath in together. Find a nice long extended exhale, release. You're gonna remove your block. Allow your head to settle down. Take a pause here. Just feel into your neck. Feel into your shoulders, let them ground down. And then you're gonna find a little belly strain. And I'm gonna just roll to one side. If you need to come up to find your props, you can, or just roll to find either 2 blocks or books or a couple blankets. So I'm gonna show you with blocks. You're gonna put, the blocks are gonna be underneath you like this. So those smallest edges together. Or if you're using blankets or books, come all the way up. And you're gonna make a little that your hip gonna be on. So the best way to get into this is to come onto your back, plant your feet down, and find a constructive rest with your knees pointed up. And then you're gonna come into a little baby bridge pose. You're gonna push through your feet, and however you can, you're gonna slide your prop underneath your hips. So if you're using blocks, I usually slide both blocks underneath at the same time from either side. And then you're gonna eventually allow your hips to settle down onto them. And you have plenty of time to feel what feels best for you. So you can adjust the blocks or books up a little bit towards your heart or down a little bit towards your ankles. Eventually you're gonna straighten your legs and you don't want any pinching in your low back. So I would start with extending your right leg first. If there's pinching in your low back, try to move the prop down or up. If it feels okay to straighten the right leg, then go ahead and straighten both legs. And this is to target the hip flexors to open up and have a little bit more space. And again, you have a full minute to just find whatever you can to make your body feel more supported. So if you wanted to put a blanket or a towel underneath your head or your neck, that can feel nice and soft and supportive. If it feels like your knees are hyperextending, you could always put a pillow or blanket underneath your knees. But wherever you are, once you find a place that you can settle into, this can be a fairly intense stretch. So if it feels too much, then just do one leg at a time and I'll cue you to switch halfway through. So in yin, we normally hold the poses for 3 to 5 minutes. And so you have plenty of time for the body to settle. You want your body to feel really supported because when the weight of your bones can relax, also your muscles and your ligaments can get into that repair and restorative mode. So go ahead and just come back into noticing your breath. Feeling the back of your heart supported. Feeling any tension in the front and back of your neck just dissipate, roll down your shoulders and roll down your arms. You can stretch your arms out wide, allowing your thighs to be heavy and soft. This is a great place to practice softening your belly. So often we're holding our belly in for all different reasons: stress, feeling self-conscious. This is your time and space to fully be the biggest version of yourself. Most connected, most compassionate towards yourself. So you'll be here for just about 6 more breaths. So enjoying the slowness of your breath. And often resistance will come up. And we have a lot of constriction here in our hips, a lot of different emotions held. We do lots of sitting at our desk or in the car. So this is a great way to open up the energy meridians between the top and bottom half of our body, to bring a little bit more space to our digestive organs, and opening up this stomach and spleen meridian that runs along the front of our body. So in the last few breaths here, try to relax through your jaw, coming into a sense of stillness, sense of observation and curiosity. Maybe feeling the textures underneath your mat, feeling the floor that supports you. And you're welcome to switch legs if you haven't switched legs. And if your mind feels busy, we talk about these different sort of anchors or places of grounding or tools that we can use. You can use them throughout your day or in your yoga classes. So one thing is to use the physical sensations of the textures of your mat, or you could use the sense of vision to find a place maybe in the corner of the room to focus on. Just bringing you into the here and now, bringing you to where you are. Or if you enjoy having your eyes closed, you could bring in a mantra, something you enjoy for yourself. I love the mantra of when I'm inhaling, I just say, I'm breathing in. And on my exhale, silently saying to myself, I am home. So when you inhale, I'm breathing in. And exhale, I am home. Home in your body, coming back to yourself. So if you're doing one leg at a time, just go ahead and stay on this side until you feel like it's even. Maybe 2 or 3 more breaths. Just beginning to feel your body slow down. It's not easy for us to slow down our mind, slow down our body. There's a reason that a lot of people don't like coming to yoga, because it's uncomfortable to feel into what is real, what's real in our bodies for sensations or emotions. Sometimes it's easier to stay in our head. So let's take 2 breaths together. So inhaling in, open mouth, exhale. And one more time, big inhale in, and open mouth, exhale. So just as you came into this pose, same way we're gonna come out. So you're gonna plant your feet onto the ground, You're gonna use a little bit of your thigh strength and your belly strength to lift your hips up. And then you're gonna use your hands to remove the props underneath you and come to lay down on your back. So stretching your legs long, stretching your hands out. So in a longer yin class, we take a minute for a rebound pose. And in a rebound, we are just taking this time to welcome in the sense of observation, to feel into and listen to the echoes of that last pose. Often we can feel a little bit of aching or tingling, and in some philosophies, they tie this to the energy movement through the meridians. So often we can have blockages, and this is a way to sort of undam the rivers that flow through the body. So just take 4 of your own breaths. Just releasing, relaxing into this nice rest. If you ever have a sort of cue from your body that you want movement, that's always welcome. You don't have to withstand stillness if there's pain. So whatever you would do, you could rock your knees back and forth or whatever your body feels called to do. But if you're looking for that restorative, sort of grounding essence of the practice, I would encourage you to try stillness. Let's take a nice breath, nice and soft. Inhale in. And open mouth, exhale out. And go ahead and bring your knees in towards your chest. And we'll just find a little happy baby for a moment. So go ahead and bring your hands on the back of your thighs. Maybe tuck them in underneath your knees. There's no need to eat. We really want your tailbone to feel grounded. So reach your knees towards your armpits, finding a nice compression for your low back, opening through your thighs and inner groin muscles. You're welcome. So we can come all the way up. And then you're gonna find a child's pose. So if child's pose is not restorative for you, there's different ways you can support yourself. So having a blanket or a stack of, or a pillow or a stack of blankets would be good to either rest your belly on or rest your head on. So if you're not familiar with child's pose, you're just gonna bend your knees and come to basically lay down on your tummy. And you're gonna reach your hands forward, reaching and kind of extending the muscles and stretching through your armpits. And then you're gonna find a way to rest your torso down. So I really shove the pillow underneath me. And then you can allow your head to come to one side if you'd like, or straight down. If it's uncomfortable for your hands to be up, you can always bring your wrists back towards your feet and rest your shoulders down that way. This is a really comforting pose for the digestive system. And again, it's not always restful for everyone, so I encourage you to use as many props as you can. You can even put a blanket underneath your knees, just knowing you have time to set up the pose for yourself to be really restorative. So you could spread a blanket out to go under your knees. If you have knee pain, you can also bring a blanket underneath, basically shoving the blanket like in the crease of your knees, and that allows for a little bit more space for the knee joint. Once you get into a comfortable position, go ahead and try to allow the full softness of your belly to come and release. Allowing your head and neck to relax down. And whenever you find the position that feels comfortable, welcoming a little bit of stillness. When we can find stillness, it's easier for us to have that observation of sensation without wanting to change it. Bringing in that compassion towards what's happening in our body. And just knowing that bringing the attention there will also shift the energy to move. So in this Chinese medicine theory of the stomach and spleen, it's associated with the element of earth. So that makes sense in the way that we get so much of our nourishment from the earth, from the harvests of the fruits and vegetables, so many nutrients in the soil. And so it's said in Chinese medicine that when we're in balance with this element, when it feels balanced in our body, we're able to feel really grounded. We're able to feel at home in ourselves. And this practice of yoga is a way that we are really revealed to ourselves, revealed to what's happening once we slow down and listen. And when we can more clearly hear what we need when we're listening to the sensations and thoughts, then we're able to respond with what truly nourishes us and what's authentically the right choice for us to create boundaries, to take time, to know what's right. So just about 3 more breaths, trying to slow down, coming into the slight sensations of the body. Maybe coming back to that mantra of I'm inhaling, I'm breathing in, and exhaling, I am home. When this earth element is in balance, we have more trust in ourselves, more trust in our lives as it unfolds. Because there's so much unpredictability and unknown. And when we're feeling out of balance in this earth element, we often have quite a bit of worry. And we feel unstable. So it's these sort of practices of tuning in that can replenish and ground. And whenever you're ready, let's take a big inhale in. And open mouth, exhale out. And like you're moving in slow motion, go ahead and begin to walk yourself up and out. And you can choose now if you'd like to come right down into a Shavasana to end your class. Or I'll show you one last pose that you can do to open up through your hips. So I'd encourage a block or 2 blocks or 2 pillows or 2 blankets. And you're gonna find butterfly legs. So butterfly wings. And then a nice support for your knees. And a few other options here. So you could either lay a bolster down or you could roll a blanket up in a way that just creates sort of a support for your spine and an expansion for your chest. So you're gonna find the butterfly legs, find whatever prop that you want to come up right to your hips, and then you're gonna lay down. There's a lot of tension through your inner groin muscles. Go ahead and walk your heels a little bit further away from your hips. If you wanted a little bit more opening and sensation through your inner groin muscles, walk your heels in towards your hips. And if you, wherever you are, go ahead and reach your arms out wide, whether you're in just a full Shavasana or in this Supta Baddha Konasana, it's called. And coming into a place of rest. And trying to expand through your chest. Making sure your head and your neck feel really supported. Maybe bringing a blanket or a sweatshirt underneath. And just allowing this space of openness to be imprinted in your hips, in your chest, opening through your heart. Bringing attention into your torso, into your belly, into this intricate system that's deep within us. There's so much wisdom in this organ system that is always working to absorb and take in what we really need and expel what we don't. We even have so much intelligence in our digestive tract, in our bellies. We have neural firing happening in there just like we do in our brains. In the somatic world, it's believed that this is where the emotional awareness begins, and the intelligence is then sent to the brain. So we really react in our bodies first, and then our brains catch up to try to understand what's happening. So the more we can tune in to the subtle sensations, the more we get to know ourselves, and the more we can work with our own body to be resilient, to know how to deal with our anxieties or fears. Because we have the physical sensations of a tight belly or a fluttering heart, even before our brains really know what's happening. And it's these restorative practices, these tools that we can use, either mantras or just feeling into our feet, feeling into our legs, feeling into the power of our solar plexus, this power of our wise digestive system, to know that we're okay. So if you've chosen to take Supta Baddha Konasana and you wanted to move into a full Shavasana, now would be a good time. Just feeling all the way from your toes into your feet and your ankles. Feeling your legs be heavy. Feeling some gratitude here for your legs. The strength and stability of our foundation that have brought us every step of the way. Coming into the hips, this place of creativity, this place of home. And coming into your belly, It's feeling exactly how it is and knowing that it's exactly how it should be right now. And softening through your heart, letting the back of your heart feel really supported by the ground beneath you. And allowing your chest to expand and your arms to relax. An amazing meditation teacher named Tara Brach, she often talks about this visualization to relax through your shoulders. So imagining that tension and hardness that we carry through our shoulders, the stress and tension, imagining those are ice cubes and that right now they can just melt into water, into liquid, allowing that all to dissipate. Maybe drip down your arms, maybe even evaporate into air. And allowing your neck, the little supporting muscles of your neck on the front, back to relax. Feeling into your throat, softness and openness, this channel that comes from our heart to speak our truth, to speak out and express who we are, express our boundaries, express our gifts. And then allow the skin on your face to relax, your eyeballs to relax in their little sockets, and to fully release. And take a nice inhale in and a nice inhale out. It's feeling the whole heaviness of your body. If we keep too busy and we forget to listen within ourselves and we lose touch with purpose, we are meant to do what we must never forget. That just as the moon grows full, it too dissolves into nothing, taking great rest in the divine darkness. For it knows its radiance is a culmination of all of its stages. Nature is our greatest teacher, yet we are ignoring the lessons she is trying to teach us. We have become blinded by success and are wanting of more. And as a result, we are facing higher rates of exhaustion and burnout than we ever have before. In the natural order of things, seasons change and then quietly return back to sleep. Trees hundreds of years old let go of their harvest of fruit and of their leaves. All they brought forth turns to gold and falls gently to the earth. The tree, then bare and free, closes its eyes, bringing all of its life within its bark. And then it sleeps for months, never to wake or force a bloom. For it knows in resting lives another form of life, the life that wants of nothing. And it sits in the simplicity of its being. In resting lives another form of life. And go ahead and begin to deepen your breath, bringing in a little bit more life, a little bit more awareness. You can wiggle your fingers and your toes. You can bring the attention back into the room, back into your body. You can remove any props nice and slow, keeping your body in this relaxed repair response. And taking about 2 or 3 breaths, and go ahead and come up into a seat. We'll come to a seat to close class. So whatever feels comfortable, you could sit up on a pillow, you could sit up on your knees. Just want your spine to feel really supported. You can rest your hands on your thighs or bring your hands in a prayer position in front of your heart. And bowing down towards yourself, honoring yourself for taking this time to to know yourself just a little bit better. To honor this practice of pausing, to digest all that's happened already today, and to come into what is true for you. We do this practice not only for ourselves, but for all of our relationships and for all beings everywhere. I honor the love, the light, and even the darkness in you. Namaste. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and whatever you can do to take a break throughout the day, even if it's just a few pauses to take a few deep breaths, can really help us integrate our mind and bodies together. So take care.